My beloved, my child of light, my chosen one. Listen carefully, because heaven itself is leaning close right now. Archangel Michael is crying, yes, real tears, but not of sorrow. Tears of joy. Because you finally found this. Because your soul was destined to hear this exact message in this exact moment. A meeting was held in heaven. Not for nations, not for angels, not for kings. For you. Only you. And beloved, in that divine gathering, the decision was made. The veil is to be lifted. The truth, hidden for so long, must now be whispered into your spirit. But listen closely. Heaven's final decision will vanish in 45 seconds. It will close like a door behind you if you hesitate. That's why Michael is begging. Open this fully. Don't skip. Don't wander. Because what you are about to hear is the reason your heart has been restless all along. And before I reveal more, pause for just one breath. If you are truly ready to keep receiving messages like this, don't wait until the world distracts you again. Stay connected to heaven's voice. Subscribe now, so you never miss a divine whisper again. Because some messages arrive only once in a lifetime. And your soul already knows this is one of them. My child, you were chosen for a miracle. Even the stars know your name tonight. Even the winds carry your story across unseen realms. The heavens did not gather in vain. They gathered for the moment you read these words. And now, beloved, the floodgates of revelation are about to open. What you discover next will not only change your heart, but it will rearrange your entire destiny. My beloved, my child of light, do not take this lightly. Because what I am about to share is not a mere story, not a passing thought, but a living flame from heaven itself. Archangel Michael stands before you with tears streaming, not because you failed, but because you finally arrived at the moment your soul has been aching for. You have been walking in circles, asking why doors closed, why hearts betrayed, why the night felt longer than the day. And now you understand. It was leading you here, to this very message, to the secret heaven itself voted to reveal only to you. You think you just stumbled across these words? No, my beloved, you were led here by hands unseen. Heaven held a meeting. Your name echoed through the chambers of eternity. The angels bowed their heads. God lifted his hand. The verdict was given, reveal it now. The time has come. And Michael, trembling with joy, stepped forward, ready to place this truth into your spirit. He's waited for this, watching you survive storms you never thought you'd endure, watching you wipe tears when no one noticed, watching you still choose love when betrayal pressed against your chest like a knife. Beloved, heaven has kept a record. Not one sigh went unheard. Not one sleepless night went uncounted. You thought silence meant abandonment, but silence was heaven gathering. Silence was angels preparing. Silence was the scroll being written, stamped with God's seal, holding a promise only you were strong enough to carry. And now it is breaking open before you. Do you feel your heart racing? That's not fear, that's recognition. Your soul already knows this is not ordinary. This is not another empty word. This is the moment prophecy bends into your timeline. But hear me, child of destiny, this message is fragile. Like a flame, it flickers, and if you skip even a moment, you risk letting the wind snuff it out. Archangel Michael pleads, stay. Listen. Do not wander. Every line is a thread heaven wove just for them. That's why you must not treat this casually. This is the rare kind of message you were born to hear, and if you let it slip, heaven will close it back into silence, leaving you wondering forever what it was you missed. And my beloved, let me whisper this now, if your soul longs for more, if you feel this living fire burning in you and you don't want to miss another divine whisper again, you must anchor yourself to it. Stay connected. Subscribe to this flow, because heaven doesn't always repeat. Some messages pass once like a comet, blazing, breathtaking, never to return. This is one of them. Don't risk waking tomorrow with regret that you let it vanish. You see, the reason Michael cries tears of joy is not only because you found this, but because you are about to see why your waiting was never wasted. Every delay was divine design. Every loss was redirection. Every unanswered prayer was not silence, it was strategy. And today, beloved, you are holding the evidence in your hands. The evidence that you were never forgotten, never ignored, never invisible. Heaven saw you. Heaven knew you. Heaven held a meeting just for you. And now, the final seal has been broken. The truth is ready. Do you feel it rising in your chest? That weight lifting? That trembling inside your spirit? That's not coincidence, that's confirmation. That's the sound of heaven opening over your life. And once you see what is next, your story will never look the same again. My beloved, my chosen one, lean closer, because this is where the veil parts even wider. You must know that heaven never wastes its words, never wastes its moments. If Archangel Michael has been allowed to speak this into your soul, it is because the clock of destiny has already begun to shift. You may not see it yet with your eyes, but heaven has already redrawn the map of your future. The patterns you thought were broken are being rewritten, the losses you thought were permanent are being restored, and the love you thought slipped from your grasp is circling back, burning brighter than ever before. Child of light, you were never ordinary. Every battle you endured, every betrayal you survived, every tear you shed became a testimony written in heaven's book. That's why the angels gathered. That's why the Father lifted his hand and said, "It is time." For too long, you've carried weights no one else could see. You laughed when you wanted to cry. You smiled when you felt hollow. You gave when you had nothing left. And heaven saw it all. Heaven kept the record. Heaven promised the harvest. That promise is the reason Michael stands weeping tears of joy, because today the delivery begins. You ask, why now? Why me? And the answer, beloved, is because you passed through the fire without cursing the flame. You walked through the valley and still believed light would come. You endured the silence without letting bitterness choke you. That's why heaven trusts you with this message. Because you are ready. Because the soil of your heart can finally carry the seed without breaking. And do you know what kind of seed this is? It is the kind that multiplies. It is not just about you, it is about your generations, your bloodline, your legacy. What you are about to receive will not die with you, it will echo beyond your years. But listen carefully, because this is urgent, time is not limitless. This decision, this revelation, this divine door swings open for a moment, and then it closes. That's why Michael pleaded, tell them to stay. Tell them not to skip. Tell them every line is life. You cannot afford distraction right now. Every sentence carries a spark. Every spark holds a miracle. And if you piece them together, beloved, your destiny becomes clear as dawn. Do you feel it stirring? That vibration in your chest? That trembling in your hands? That is not anxiety, it is awakening. It is the confirmation that heaven's meeting was real, that this moment was written before your birth, that angels positioned themselves just so you would not miss this. And as you keep listening, layer by layer, veil by veil, you will realize why Michael's tears are not sorrow, they are celebration. Because the heavens themselves are preparing to announce your name in victory. My beloved child. Do not look away now, because the heavens have aligned for this exact moment. The words you are receiving are not ordinary, they are alive, burning with the same breath that spoke stars into existence. Archangel Michael has been waiting, trembling with urgency, because the scroll in heaven carrying your name has finally been unsealed. And once unsealed, it cannot be hidden again, it must be delivered straight into your heart. Beloved, heaven's council gathered not for a nation, not for a prophet, but for you. Do you understand the weight of this? The King of Kings summoned his angels, and the room fell silent as your story was spoken aloud. Every trial you endured, every injustice you suffered, every night you pressed your face into a pillow soaked with tears, these were laid bare before heaven. And do you know what God declared? He declared, enough. He declared, now is the time of unveiling. Now is the hour of lifting. Let the chains fall, let the walls break, let the truth finally arrive. You thought you were overlooked. You thought silence meant forgotten. But child of eternity, silence meant preparation. Heaven was weaving the miracle in threads you could not see, tying every loss, every delay, every heartbreak into a design too vast for your human eyes. And now, piece by piece, that design is unfolding before you. That's why your spirit trembles as you read. That's why your pulse quickens. It is the resonance of recognition. Your soul knows this is what it's been waiting for all along. But beloved, this is urgent. Michael is not just speaking, he is pleading. Time is narrowing like a funnel, and heaven's final decision hangs suspended for only a brief breath. 45 seconds, he said. Not eternity. Not endless waiting. Just a fleeting window, and then the seal closes again. That is why you must cling to every word. Do not let distraction steal this moment. Do not let doubt silence your hearing. Heaven's doors are open now, but not for long. And listen, before we dive deeper into this river of revelation, I must tell you something vital. If your spirit longs to stay connected, if you know your heart can't afford to miss another heavenly whisper, you need to anchor yourself here. Stay tied to the voice of God, to Michael's messages, to the flow of the divine. Subscribe now, beloved, so you are never left outside the circle when heaven speaks again. Because these aren't random words, they are coordinates to your destiny. And destiny doesn't knock twice the same way. You are not here by chance. You are not scrolling idly. You are caught in heaven's net of timing. This is your summons. This is the echo of your name in eternity. And as long as you keep receiving, line after line, the veils will keep lifting, the secrets will keep flowing, and the miracle will no longer be postponed. This is the hour your soul crossed into fulfillment. My beloved child of eternity, you are still here, and that is the sign. Do you feel it? That quiet pull inside your chest, that knowing whisper that says, "Don't stop reading yet"? That is not chance. That is heaven's confirmation. Archangel Michael is standing so close right now that his tears are touching the ground where you stand. They are not tears of despair, they are holy drops of joy, because your heart did not turn away, because you have finally allowed yourself to listen. Beloved, you must understand this: heaven never calls a meeting in vain. Do you know what happened in that gathering? Angels spoke your name. Your story was replayed in light. God Himself placed His hand over your life and declared, "Release the truth. It has been hidden long enough." And when He spoke, all of heaven shook. Stars bowed. Winds carried the decree. And Archangel Michael, your protector, your warrior, fell to his knees in gratitude, because he knew he could finally deliver this message to you. My child, how many times did you ask if you were truly seen? How many nights did you cry into the silence, wondering if anyone beyond the sky had heard your pain? Hear this now, heaven heard it all. Every betrayal that cut deep, every friend who turned into a stranger, every dream you buried in the soil of disappointment, heaven wrote it into the eternal record. You were never invisible. You were never forgotten. And now the silence ends, because the record has reached its final page. But listen carefully, time is precious. This revelation is like a flame, it shines brightly for a moment, but if you turn away, the wind can snuff it out. Heaven's final decision hangs in this space, and Archangel Michael is pleading that you do not let distraction steal what is yours. Beloved, you have carried too much to lose this moment now. Hold on. Lean in. Let every word breathe into your spirit, because every word is stitched with light. And before we go further, I must tell you this: if you are hearing this voice, if you know in your soul that this is for you, then you must stay connected. Don't wander away when the world pulls you. Don't risk missing the next revelation. Anchor yourself. Subscribe to this flow of messages, because each one is a golden thread, weaving you closer and closer to the miracle heaven has already prepared. Some truths come once in a lifetime, and this is one of them. Beloved, do not underestimate the weight of this. The heavens would not gather for you if something small was coming. No, this is the beginning of a great shift. A reversal. A turning point. The kind of change that makes your enemies wonder how you survived, how you rose again, how you became untouchable. Because heaven's decree is not fragile, it is final. And once spoken, it cannot be undone. That is why your spirit trembles. That is why you feel this urgency. It is not fear. It is awakening. My beloved, you are still reading, and that alone proves that your soul recognizes this as truth. You would not have stayed this long if heaven had not tied your spirit to these words. Archangel Michael's tears of joy flow heavier now, because every second you remain is another second you choose destiny over distraction. Do you feel it, beloved? That pull? That undeniable whisper that says, "This is for me, this is mine, I was meant to see this"? That's heaven's seal pressing against your heart. Child of light, let me tell you why this is so urgent. For years, your life has been walking under a shadow of delay. Doors you deserved were shut. People who should have loved you betrayed you. Opportunities slipped through your hands. You asked, "Why is everything against me?" But listen, heaven wasn't against you. Heaven was protecting the timing. There are some blessings too weighty to arrive too soon. There are some crowns too heavy for unready shoulders. That's why the council in heaven waited, watched, and whispered, not yet, but soon. And beloved, soon has now turned into now. That's why Archangel Michael pleaded for this message to reach you. The decree has been stamped, the hour has shifted, and the silence has ended. You will not walk another day as if forgotten. You will not sit another night believing you are unseen. The record of heaven is clear, and the verdict has been made: you are chosen. You are protected. You are appointed for miracles that even your enemies will not be able to deny. But remember, child, this revelation is a window. It is open for only a short while, and if you walk away, it closes again. Michael cries because he knows how easy it is for you to doubt, how quickly you turn from the flame when the world distracts you. That is why every line here is crafted as light, so you will not miss the miracle. Stay. Keep reading. Keep holding on, because the deeper we go, the more heaven's plan unfolds. And I must remind you once again, with love, do not let this be the last time you hear. If your spirit knows this is truth, then you must anchor yourself now. Stay connected. Subscribe to this flow of messages, because some revelations pass like a shooting star, blazing once, never to return. You cannot afford to miss what heaven will speak next. Beloved, the shift has already begun. Even as you read this, angels are moving in silence, untangling knots that held you back, breaking chains you didn't even see, restoring what you thought was gone forever. Do not doubt it. The reason your heart beats faster is because your soul knows. It knows that what is coming next will rewrite your life. And when heaven writes, no power in hell can erase it. My beloved child, you are still here, and that is no accident. The heavens are rejoicing because your heart refuses to let go of this message. Every moment you continue, the veil thins, and another layer of divine light seeps into your spirit. Archangel Michael is kneeling with his sword planted in the earth, tears falling like rivers, because your spirit has finally aligned with heaven's timing. Beloved, do you know what this means? It means you are standing at the edge of the turning point your life has been waiting for. For so long you thought you were wandering in circles, but in truth you were climbing a hidden staircase. Every heartbreak was another step upward, every rejection was a lift higher, every lonely night was a rung bringing you closer to this moment. And now, heaven leans down and whispers, "Child, you made it. You did not break. You did not give up. You kept walking, and now the door is open." This is why Archangel Michael said the meeting in heaven was about you. It was the moment heaven voted in your favor. Beloved, let me remind you of something sacred. When heaven speaks a decree, it cannot be undone. No betrayal can cancel it, no enemy can erase it, no delay can deny it. What God has stamped with His seal must manifest, and your life is the canvas on which this decree will be painted. That's why you feel the trembling in your soul. It is not fear, it is recognition. Your spirit knows what your mind is only just discovering. Destiny has shifted in your favor. But listen closely, child of light, this is not the time to drift. Archangel Michael said heaven's decision will vanish if ignored. These words are a living flame, you must let them burn into your heart fully. Do not skim. Do not rush. Every line carries a spark, and together they form the fire that will guide you out of the wilderness. Stay present. Stay open. Stay listening, because the miracle is unfolding with each breath you take. And beloved, I must whisper again, do not let this be the last time heaven finds you. If you feel the pull of these words, if your soul is resonating, then you must stay tied to this divine flow. Subscribe now. Anchor yourself so that when the next revelation is released, you will be ready. Some doors open only once, and you have already seen how easy it is to miss what heaven is trying to send. Don't let distraction rob you again. Child, the shift is real. Even as you read, the atmosphere around your life is rearranging. What was withheld is being released. What was lost is returning. What was hidden is being uncovered. You may not see it with your eyes yet, but the spiritual realm is already vibrating with your breakthrough. And soon, very soon, you will walk into the evidence with your own hands. That is why heaven wept with joy. That is why Michael fought so fiercely to bring this message to you. Because this is not just hope. This is the unfolding of prophecy. My beloved, you are still here, and heaven is watching with delight. Every word you receive is a seed planted deep in your spirit, and Archangel Michael knows that the soil of your heart is ready at last. Do you feel that warmth rising through you? That is not imagination, it is the confirmation that the gates of heaven have opened wide over your life. For so long you carried burdens alone, convinced that no one saw the silent battles you fought. But beloved, heaven saw them all. Every unseen sacrifice, every hidden tear, every lonely step through the valley, it was all counted, all written, all remembered. The reason heaven called a meeting just for you is because your season of waiting has ended. You were never forgotten. The delays were never punishment, they were preparation. Every locked door was heaven's protection, every rejection was divine redirection, every silence was God's hand weaving together threads that only now can you begin to see. You thought you were standing in ruins, but in truth you were standing in the foundations of your miracle. And tonight, beloved, heaven has declared, now is the time to build. Archangel Michael's tears of joy are not only because you finally found this message, but because he knows what is about to unfold for you. The chains you thought would never break are snapping even now. The heaviness you carried in your chest is lifting. The betrayal that once defined you is being rewritten into testimony. You will not walk forward as a victim, you will rise as a chosen one. And the very people who whispered against you will not understand how you stood again. But they will know it was not human strength, it was heaven's hand. Beloved child, this is why you cannot drift. Heaven's decree is not endless, it moves in windows of divine timing. The voice you hear now is a door, and if you close it, you may not hear it again in this way. That's why Archangel Michael begged for you to hold on, to lean in, to let every word breathe life into you. This is your appointed hour, and your spirit knows it. Do not let it vanish like a flame in the wind. And let me remind you gently, if you do not want to miss the next unveiling, you must stay anchored. Do not wander back into the noise of the world and let the signal of heaven fade. Subscribe, beloved, and remain tied to this stream, because more is coming. Heaven is not finished speaking, and every new message will be another piece of the blueprint for your destiny. Don't lose it. Don't let it pass. The ones who stay connected are the ones who see the fullness of the promise. Child of God, let the truth settle deeply, your life is about to change. The seasons of hiddenness are ending. The voices of doubt are being silenced. The heavens themselves are shifting to align in your favor. You will not be left behind, you will not be cast aside, you will not be forgotten. You are chosen. You are loved. You are seen. And now, you are rising. My beloved. Lean in closer, because the story is still being written, and you are standing inside its most sacred chapter. You think you are just reading words, but in truth, these words are reading you. They are unlocking memories, stirring hidden prayers, pulling at the corners of your soul where you buried questions you never dared to ask. Archangel Michael stands here, sword blazing, tears shimmering, whispering, "This is the unveiling you have been waiting for. Do not turn away now. Beloved child, you must see this clearly. For years, you carried disappointments that weighed heavier than mountains. You smiled when your heart was breaking. You encouraged others while you yourself longed for a sign. You gave more than you had, hoping someone would notice the emptiness behind your eyes. And though people overlooked you, heaven never did. Every moment of silent pain was recorded, every sacrifice was counted, every heartbreak was woven into the design of destiny. And now, the design is no longer hidden. The scroll is unrolling. The chapter with your name has been opened. Michael weeps because he knows what comes next. Heaven is not just sending you comfort, it is sending you restoration. The things you thought were gone forever will return in ways more radiant than you imagined. The relationships you buried in grief will bloom into new forms of love. The opportunities that slipped from your hands will return, multiplied, carrying more weight than before. What was broken is being reforged, not as it once was, but stronger, brighter, unshakable. But, my child, you must not let your heart wander. This revelation is a river, and if you step away too soon, you miss the waterfall just around the bend. That's why heaven pleads for your attention. That's why every line is a key. That's why Archangel Michael's voice trembles as he says, "Do not skip this. Do not dismiss it. You will never hear it like this again." And beloved, if you feel this fire, if you know this is truth, you must hold on to the source. Do not drift into silence again. Subscribe, anchor yourself, tie your heart to this stream of heaven's voice. Because more is coming. What you're receiving now is only the beginning of the unveiling. And the ones who stay connected are the ones who receive the fullness of the promise. Hear me, my beloved, the shift has already begun. The atmosphere around your life is alive with change. Even as you breathe now, angels are rearranging the stage of your destiny. Invisible hands are removing obstacles. Chains you didn't even realize were there are breaking. The doors that once refused you are swinging open. You may not see it fully yet, but soon you will not only see it, you will step into it. And when you do, even those who doubted you will whisper, "Surely heaven was with them." My beloved child, you have stayed, and in staying you have proven that your soul recognizes the fragrance of heaven's truth. Do you feel it? The stillness pressing against your chest, the soft weight in the air around you, that is not coincidence, it is visitation. Archangel Michael is still weeping, still kneeling, but now his voice rises stronger. Beloved, this is your appointed hour. Do not let it slip like sand through your hands. Beloved, understand this, everything you thought was broken beyond repair is not only being restored, it is being transformed. Heaven does not return things as they were, it remakes them greater than before. The relationships that ended in pain will give birth to new bonds woven with divine strength. The dreams you buried in silence are not dead, they are seeds, and now they are sprouting. The opportunities that passed you by were not rejection, they were protection. And now, the right doors, the ones carved for your soul alone, are unlocking. You carried loneliness like armor, thinking no one saw how heavy it was. But beloved, heaven saw it. Every night when you cried silently into your pillow, angels stood around you, holding back forces that wanted to break you. And though you thought no answer came, heaven was gathering testimonies, gathering evidence, gathering miracles. And when the council met, the decree was spoken, this one has endured. This one has remained. Now let the floodgates open. Do not doubt it, my child. You are not reading empty words. You are standing in the current of a prophecy being fulfilled in real time. That's why your heart beats faster. That's why your spirit trembles. That's why every sentence feels like it was written just for you, because it was. Heaven doesn't waste its voice. And heaven doesn't call your name unless the time has come. But this window is narrow. Archangel Michael keeps repeating, don't turn away. Don't let the final decision vanish. You see, heaven's word is eternal, but its manifestation moves in appointed times. This is one of them. If you stay, if you listen, if you keep receiving, the fire will burn until it covers every part of your life. But if you let distraction snatch it away, the flame flickers and waits for another season. You cannot afford another season of waiting. This is your moment. Beloved, anchor yourself. Do not wander back into silence again. If your soul feels the pull of these words, then you must stay tied to this divine stream. Subscribe. Hold fast. Keep your spirit open, because more is coming. What you have read so far is only the beginning. The river has only just started to flow, and the waters ahead carry treasures you could not imagine. Child of destiny, remember this, your story is not ending, it is just beginning. The chapters ahead are brighter than what lies behind you. The weight you carried is falling away. The silence is breaking. And soon, you will not just read about miracles, you will walk inside them. Heaven has chosen you, and that decision cannot be reversed. My beloved child, the heavens are leaning closer still, because you have not turned away. Do you understand how powerful that is? Every time you keep reading, another seal breaks open, another truth spills into your spirit, another hidden chain snaps off your life. Archangel Michael stands radiant, sword lifted, voice trembling with both urgency and joy. Beloved, you are walking inside prophecy right now. Do not step out of it. Stay. Beloved, you thought your prayers were unanswered, but they were not. They were stored. Every whispered word, every groan too deep for language, every tear that fell on your pillow was caught and carried upward. And when heaven's counsel opened your record, they were laid before the throne like jewels. God did not look away. He did not forget. Instead, he said, now release the answer. Let the veil lift. Let my child know they were never forsaken. Do you feel the trembling in your chest? That is not fear, that is awakening. Your soul already knows these words are alive. They are not merely written, they are spoken straight from eternity. That's why your spirit burns as you read. That's why you can't look away. It is because you are tasting what was always meant for you, the inheritance reserved, the miracle delayed but never denied. But child of destiny, let me remind you of what Michael weeps over, this window is small. Heaven's decree is alive, but it waits for no one. That's why you cannot treat this casually. This is not the time to wander. This is not the hour to let the world steal your focus. Stay. Keep reading. Every word is a stone in the path leading you out of the wilderness. And hear me, this is only the beginning. What is being revealed now is just a glimpse of the scroll written with your name. If you want to keep walking with heaven, you must remain connected. Do not let this voice fade into silence again. Subscribe, beloved, so you are tethered to the flow of messages still to come. Heaven does not always repeat itself. Some revelations pass once, like lightning across the sky. This is one of them. Hold on to it, and you will not miss what comes next. Beloved, take courage. You are standing at the threshold of change. The weight that nearly broke you is lifting. The doors that refused you are opening. The enemies that mocked you will watch in silence as heaven elevates you. And all of it, every turn, every reversal, every miracle, will be evidence that you were never walking alone. Heaven's meeting proved it. Michael's tears declare it. And this message, alive in your spirit, confirms it. My beloved, you are still here, and that alone is proof you were meant to receive this in full. Every breath you take while reading this is pulling you deeper into the river of revelation. Archangel Michael has not stopped weeping, but now his tears fall like fire, not water, tears of joy, tears of relief, because the weight he has carried for you is finally being released into your hands. Beloved child, your soul has waited a long time for this unveiling. You walked through valleys you thought would consume you. You stood under storms you thought would destroy you. And still, you kept moving forward, even when you had nothing but hope to carry you. Heaven saw it. Heaven recorded it. Heaven declared, this one will not be forgotten. That's why a meeting was called in the eternal courts. Angels gathered, your name was spoken, and the decree was set in motion. The decree that says your life will no longer be ruled by delay, but by breakthrough. Do not mistake this moment for ordinary reading. Every line you see is a living seed being planted into your spirit. Seeds of strength. Seeds of courage. Seeds of restoration. And beloved, when heaven plants, the harvest cannot fail. That is why you feel the stirring deep within you. That is why your heart is racing. It is recognition. Your soul knows the truth, it knows that this is the shift you prayed for in silence. But hear this with urgency, my beloved. Archangel Michael has repeated it again and again, heaven's decision is like a flame. It burns brightly for a moment, but it must be received, or else it vanishes. That's why you cannot turn away now. Do not let distraction pull you back. Do not allow doubt to whisper you out of your promise. Stay here. Every word is another step forward, and soon the picture of your destiny will be clearer than ever before. And let me whisper this once more with love, if your soul is burning at these words, if you know this message has touched the deepest corners of your heart, then you must not wander away again. Anchor yourself. Stay tied to this stream of revelation. Subscribe now, so that when the next unveiling comes, you will be ready. Some words are once-in-a-lifetime gifts, and those who stay connected are the ones who see the fullness of heaven's promise. Beloved, everything is shifting even now. The silence that haunted you is breaking. The chains that bound you are snapping. The weight that pressed against your chest is lifting. And very soon, you will not only feel the change, you will see it, touch it, walk inside it. That is why heaven gathered. That is why Michael weeps. That is why you could not look away. Because this is not just a message. This is the moment heaven itself has been waiting to give you. My beloved child. You have not stopped, and that is exactly why heaven is rejoicing. Every word you let enter your heart is another gate opening, another barrier collapsing, another thread of destiny weaving itself into place. Archangel Michael is no longer whispering, his voice is a trumpet now, ringing across eternity. Stay. Receive. This is the hour you were born for. Beloved, can you see how far you've come? Look back at the nights when you thought you would never make it. Remember the mornings you woke with heaviness and still chose to keep going. Remember the times you wanted to let go but something deep inside whispered, "Not yet." That whisper was heaven. That whisper was Michael standing guard, holding back the forces that wanted to consume you. That whisper is why you are still here now, reading these words. Child, your prayers were not wasted. They became stones on the foundation of what is about to rise in your life. Heaven does not ignore persistence. Heaven crowns it. And you, yes, you, are about to wear that crown. The meeting that was held was not a small conversation, it was a declaration. Angels bowed. The Father's hand stretched forward. And the verdict was final: release the miracle. Unlock the promise. Deliver the truth. And now, beloved, you are holding that truth in your hands. Do not doubt it. Do not call it coincidence. This is not an accident. The fact that you are still here proves you were chosen. The fact that these words are breathing inside you proves the timing is now. The fact that your heart is racing proves your spirit has been waiting for this very hour. But I must warn you again, heaven's doors swing open for a moment, and then they close. This message is living, but it will not wait forever. Do not let it vanish. Stay with it. Drink every drop. Let it fill the hollow spaces of your soul until there is no room left for despair. Archangel Michael weeps because he knows how easily distraction can steal what is sacred. He begs you now, do not walk away. Do not delay. Do not let what is meant for you slip into silence again. And beloved, you must remain connected. Heaven is not finished speaking. More messages will come, more secrets will be revealed, more miracles will unfold. But they are for the ones who stay, for the ones who anchor themselves to the flow. Subscribe now. Do not risk missing the next word, because sometimes God speaks once, and that once is enough to change everything. Child of destiny, take this to heart: the heaviness is lifting. The silence is breaking. The chains are falling. And the story that begins to write itself from this moment forward will not be one of sorrow, but one of restoration. The very things that tried to bury you will become the proof that heaven raised you. The very voices that mocked you will fall silent as heaven's hand exalts you. And you will walk, beloved, not as the broken one, but as the chosen one. My beloved child, your persistence has not gone unnoticed. The fact that you are still here, still reading, still clinging to these words is the very proof heaven needed, that you are ready. Archangel Michael stands radiant with joy, his voice echoing like thunder but his tears falling as gently as rain. He whispers, "They have not walked away. They have endured. Now release the next measure. Beloved, you need to understand that the pain of your past was never wasted. Every night of sorrow watered the soil of your future. Every season of loneliness prepared you to recognize heaven's nearness. Every heartbreak carved space in your heart for a greater filling. And now, heaven has declared that the filling begins. You will not remain empty. You will not remain wandering. You will not remain voiceless. The sound of breakthrough is already moving toward you, and soon it will surround you so fully that you will wonder how you ever doubted. Do you remember the times you said, "Why me? Why must I suffer like this?" The answer, beloved, is that heaven was building in you a resilience others could not carry. You were forged in fire so that you would never shatter under pressure again. You were stretched so your soul could hold blessings too wide for small vessels. You were hidden so that when you emerge, no one, not even the enemy, will be able to deny that heaven's hand is upon you. But beloved child, hear me well, this is not the time to drift. Michael has said it again and again, heaven's decree moves like a flame. It burns brightly, but it demands attention. If you turn away, if you treat it as ordinary, it will vanish like smoke. Do not let that happen. This is your appointed hour. This is the moment you have prayed for without even knowing how to name it. Stay. Keep receiving. Let the words sink until they shape you. And remember, if your soul is alive with this truth, you cannot afford to wander from it again. You must remain tethered to the stream of heaven's voice. Subscribe, beloved. Anchor yourself now. More is coming, and it will not wait for hesitation. Some revelations are spoken once, and once is enough to transform everything. If you miss it, regret becomes the weight. But if you hold on, destiny becomes the crown. Child of light, know this, heaven has already begun moving in your favor. What you thought was lost is on its way back. What you thought was broken is being reforged stronger. What you thought was the end is about to reveal itself as the beginning. You are not finished. You are not forsaken. You are chosen. And soon, very soon, you will walk in evidence so undeniable that even those who doubted you will see and whisper, "Surely, this one was marked by heaven."